Thank you for coming to my channel. If you're new here, please subscribe and hit that bell so you'll be notified of any upcoming videos. Sorry about my background. I usually don't have this as my background. I got clothes on my bed and y'all not about to see all that. I wanted to make this video because I feel like this is just a part of my journey that I want to let y'all in on, so you guys can just rock with me through my journey, and maybe you have your own journey and we can just do this together.
Wake up and beg up this shit, jump out the crib, stack out my seat on this shit, killing my ego this shit, all for the people this shit, only believe in the real. I do.
So as you can tell by the title, I am leaving my job. So I have been wanting to leave my job for a long time, and I tried to put myself in that position before, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna slowly just go part-time or zero status, and I will then slowly, you know, as I'm making money on YouTube and everything like that, I will slowly leave my job. That was my plan. But as you know, sometimes God has other plans for you. So when I was thinking of that plan, I got everything in order, bills in orders, paid off things and stuff like that, and we had to move. Then when I was about to go zero status, that's when, after COVID, daycare was an issue, so I ended up like watching my grandbaby. And every time I tried to make this move, something got in the way, whether it was a trip that ended up getting planned. And so my job, it has like unlimited overtime, and so I would always work hard so that we can go on these trips, or it was always because somebody invited us, or it was like a wedding we needed to go to. So I would just continue to work. So the more I worked, the less time I had to actually work on what I really wanted to do, and that was work on my business and my YouTube channel, because I was always at work. And when I work, I usually work doubles and stuff. So I'm going in at 7 in the morning to 11 at night. I just had to keep putting YouTube on the back burner and try to find time. And then when I was off, something will come up. I'm sick, my kid's sick. Like, when I tell you, it was always something. And I was just like, man, I'm never gonna be able to get this going. I've been doing YouTube for a long time, but I can't be consistent with it. Even though I have a lot of videos that I've posted, that was over some years. And so I'm like, I'm never gonna make money off of this if, you know, I have to keep going to work and I'm working these long hours just to pay the bills or whatever the case may be. Or my job went to like extra stuff that we wanted to do. And so every time I would try to work it out the way I wanted to work it out. So as my job kept going on, you guys, I've been working there for about 15, 16 years. I can't remember, I kind of lost count. But I've been working there for a long time, since my kids was little, just starting school. I have 4 kids altogether, but I have 1 daughter with my husband. But when I first started this job, I only had my 3, and they were just starting elementary school. 2 of them were still in daycare, and my last one is graduating now. So that's how long I've been at my job. And I used to love my job, but as time went on, COVID hit, budget cuts and everything like that, it just stopped being a place that was fitting me, caused me to be really, really stressed out. But because I knew I can get whatever type of money there, whenever we wanted it. So if somebody asked us to go somewhere, I knew I could just work and we can go places and have fun and all this stuff. But it just started to be really stressful, where I didn't really care about the money. I really didn't care about going anywhere sometimes, because I just did not want to be there. And it just kept getting worse, and I kept thinking it was going to get better, and it kept getting worse. It was a lot of things that was going on that I wasn't happy with, things that I felt like was completely wrong. And then when, you know, a place start messing with your money, it's like, okay, come on now. But I stayed because I've been there for so long, and it's hard to be like, oh, I'm gonna start something new when you've been somewhere for so long. I don't know when the last, you know, it's been many years since the last time I've done an interview. So that was kind of hard for me, to the point, you know, I could just tell that when I was off, I was part-time, but when I was off, that day before I had to go into work, like my whole mood just would shift, and I was kind of just down, or like, oh, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. I called some family members. I called my dad, talked to him, my mom. I talked to my husband. I had talked to my cousin, my best friend. And I was just sharing with them, like, I think I'm gonna leave my job. At first, I remember, like, maybe a year ago, I had talked to my mom, and I was just like, Mom, how do you know when it's just time to leave? And I guess the scary thing for me was leaving when you don't have any income. I'm not leaving once I get a job, because that's what that's what usually people do. They get a job and then they leave, so it's an easier transition because you're gonna have money. I was like, but that's the 9-to-5 thing is not for me. I really feel like I have this entrepreneur mindset, and I really just want to do what I want to do, what I enjoy doing. I feel like I spent all this time at this job, made sure my kids was good, made sure my boys were able to be in football and get everything that they needed, travel when I needed to or whatever, because I've been at the job so long, it was easy for me to find somebody to work my shift. Like, I felt like I did what I needed to do for my family, but bills still go on no matter what. So I was having a hard time, making the decision. So I was like, oh no, I'm gonna need money to be able to leave. But the money that I'm trying to get is not another job. It's actually working on my stuff. But if I'm constantly at work to continue to pay my bills, I don't have as much time as I would like to work on a business that is really hands-on. And even YouTube, it requires you to be consistent and post and stuff like that. And because I came home so late when I was working, that's not something I would stay up until midnight if I knew I had to go back to work the next day. So it was really, really hard. Now I asked my mom, like, how do you know when it's just time? She was like, when you just don't feel right, when you just can't take it anymore, you will know that it's time. So when I called my dad, I called my stepmom, and then she put me on speakerphone, and I was talking to my dad and her and telling them just like a lot of the things that was going on at the job that I really didn't share with people before. They were just like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And I kind of just dealt with the company. It was just really, really unorganized, and I kind of just like dealt with it. I was like, can you pray for me that God gives me, the answer when it's time to go? And they knew that I wasn't going to have an income or anything like that. And one thing my dad said, like, well, baby, I'll pray. Of course I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray for you, through your journey. But if it ain't right in your spirit, like, to be there, and you don't feel right, and you're not at peace there, that's your answer right there, that this is not for you. And I kind of felt like God been putting me in an uncomfortable position to get me to just step out on faith. But it's very, very scary. That's all I kept thinking, like, but God, like, what about this money? I was so used to doing it on my own and figuring it out. So I was going to figure how I was going to get this money while I'm working on my business. And then when the business money comes through, I'm going to leave my job. That was me trying to do that. I realized that when I was at work, I would get so angry. Like, when people make me mad, I want to let them know about themselves. And God started to tell me, like, you don't always have to let people know. But when I started to kind of like work on that, okay, I'm not going to let this get to me, whatever, and I go to work, tries to take me back there. Then I'm praying again. And I was just like, this is just not for me. I'm stressed, my chest. I was just like, man, I feel like God keep putting me in an uncomfortable position to like make me step out on faith. So I felt like I knew the answer, but I was really, really afraid. And I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. I know a lot of Christians like, you can't be afraid, trust God. But doubt kind of comes in a way sometimes, especially when you're making a decision that you really, really do not see the outcome. You know what you're capable as long as God, is with you, but you've never seen. But God kind of just like talked to me. I had an incident with one of my kids. They were in the hospital. I was just praying. It was really bad, and doctors were telling me, oh, she's gonna die, like literally telling me that as she's getting airlifted to another hospital, and I have to drive there, and I remember those moments where I would go in the bathroom and I would just pray, like, God, prayed about over my kids every morning. I would always ask you to protect them, let them live long. I wanted them to see their great grandkids. Like, I would pray these prayers, like, I don't want to lose my kids. I would always pray over them. And I'm like, God, you're not answering. that prayer. You know, you're just gonna let my baby go, whatever. I was really fussing with him in this bathroom, y'all. Crying, fussing. Then I just start speaking in tongues, and I'm just like, he's still there. God would speak to me, and he was telling me, if you believe and you have faith that you prayed and you know me, then you better start walking in that. And walking in that basically don't mean he was okay with me fussing with him, but it didn't mean like I just act like it was all over with based off of what people said. So I wipe my tears off, go in that room. I'm learning the machines, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? I was asking nurses everything, so I know what level is that supposed to be. I'm going up and down. This is the time she's supposed to get her medicine. And I would have strength. I whispered in my daughter's ear. I said, you believe that God gonna heal you? She said, yeah. I said, okay, we walking on that. That's what I told her. That was the words I told her before she got airlifted. So here, this is how just wicked the enemy is. After I said that and I stepped out on that faith, and I'm like, my baby gonna be okay. The doctor was like, I need you to understand, do you know that, you know, she might not make it? Now, I realized why he was saying that, because he didn't see me crying in that room. He thought that I didn't understand, but I understood. I went to some medical school. You know, I understood what he was saying to me, but I also knew what God was saying to me. So I'm like, okay, you know, and it hurt. It almost broke me again. I cried in the elevator. My husband just grabbed me, whatever. We drove home. I sat there and got on my knees right there, because we were getting our stuff together to head to the other hospital. I got on my knees. God spoke to me again, and he said, you need to walk in it. And so I was like, okay. I got up. I said, I'm packing my baby bag. She coming home. We got to that hospital. I thought they was going to have to do a procedure. I had my dad pray. My dad made it there and stuff like that. We prayed or whatever. They called up before they did that procedure, and they said, she doing better. We're not about to do this. We're bringing her back up. Every day after that, she was getting stronger and stronger. I always regret missing my opportunity, and I hope, you know, this doctor one day sees this. I always regret missing my opportunity, because the doctor literally called me 2 weeks after, and he was just checking on the one that sent her to a different hospital. He was just checking on her, and he was, you know, talking to me about, like, you know, I just wanted to let you know, some parents can have PTSD with their kids being in the ICU and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, I appreciate that. You know, I was like, it was really, really hard. He said, I couldn't tell, you know, you handled it well. I said, well, you didn't know I was going in the bathroom crying and stuff like that. But I hate that I missed my opportunity, because I felt like he was just wondering, like, how does she have that much faith? Like, you know, like, what was it? Because from the machines, it was saying something totally different. When I tell y'all, it no lie, the paper said she had heart failure, kidney failure, everything was failing. Like, everything. Had a couple heart attacks. And she is completely normal. The heart healed itself, kidney healed itself completely. Everything is fine. Like, that's how God works. And I hate that I missed my opportunity to tell, you know, that doctor that it was God. It was God. I had faith in God. I didn't, you know, regardless what y'all was saying, y'all was trying to get me down. But regardless what y'all was saying, God was telling me something else. And he kept telling me, if you walk in that and you believe, it's going to work itself out. So I had to think about that situation. Sorry to get so long-winded, and I hope this is blessing somebody, though. I had to really think about that situation and be like, if I could trust God. Now, I was in a position where I had no choice. Like, I had no choice. And that's one thing about faith. Like, sometimes you have to step out on faith when you do have a choice. And that's what was hard for me. But I felt like God was building me up for this very moment. And I didn't have no choice then, because whatever was happening. You know, I had no choice. And I was just like, God, you the only one I got. You the only one that I know can fix this, you know. And I did understand. I felt like, oh, God was trying to build my faith up during that. I don't never want that again. When it came to this moment, I had a choice. I have a choice to stay at my job and make this money, or step out on faith and trust God to lead me regardless if I can see it or not. And I can't see it. I don't know how. When I'm telling y'all, like, I'm leaving my job with no income. I have my husband's income. but my income brought in a lot. So that was a big income, you know. And I mean, it brought in a lot because of the overtime that I could make my husband's salary. So his is going to stay the same no matter what. But for me, I was able to pick up whatever. I can make however much I wanted to on that check. Like, that's what I mean. That's how many hours I could get. And it was like to step out on that and know that, okay, I can have this and pay my bills, or I can step out on faith and trust God, because I know that I'm going to do something. It's just not bringing no income right now, but I'm going to trust God that it's going to work out and it's going to be for the better. And that's the hard thing, and why I never stepped out on faith. Even though he showed me a straight miracle, it was still hard for me to step out on faith when I had a choice. Sometimes we have to step out on faith when we do have a choice, because I feel like that is true faith. And I finally made the decision to take that step, and I am stepping out on faith. Some of you guys might be struggling with a job now, and I'm not telling everybody, oh, leave your job, but if you trust God and you feel like this is what God is telling you to do, and you have a plan and God is just telling you to put in the work and he'll take care of the rest, go for it. Go for it. And I cannot wait till I can show you what he has done. I know it's not going to be easy. I know it's not going to just be like, oh, I'm going to start this and just things are going to come and I'm never going to have to worry about anything. I don't know how it's going to be. I don't know. God might bless me like that. Like, see, I just needed you to do that. You know, here go your blessing. You know, however he wants to handle it, I am okay. And I have a willing heart, and I am going to listen to him every step of the way through this process. And I cannot wait to bring you guys on. I have not left yet. I have a date. I don't want to say it on here. It is very, very soon. Like, very soon. So, you know, at times I take myself back and be like, oh, you should have done this a long time ago, you know. But I feel like everybody has a time. And I truly, truly feel like God was building me for this moment. I was not ready yet. Even after I seen that miraculous healing that he did, I still had a lot of things that I needed to work on. And he broke me down, y'all. Like, these last couple of years, he broke me down. And I used to always say, you know, when you hit rock bottom, that's when your blessing is right there. And I truly did not know what that meant until he broke me down to where I was so uncomfortable. Like, I was just so uncomfortable with everything in my life. Like, it was just, sometimes I didn't even know why, but he was really, really just working on me as a person, because I truly feel like in order to receive these blessings, he wanted me to be in a better place and a better mindset to be able to handle what he has for me. And I still don't fully know what he has for me, but I do feel like it is greatness. And however that greatness comes, I am willing. And I couldn't say that a long time ago. I'll tell y'all that right now. I could not say that. It's not that I didn't want to do what God wanted me to do. It was just, I was like, but God, what you about to have me doing? Like, because you know, I am not this. This is not what I do. Honestly, these type of videos is not what I do. If you guys check my other videos, I am not a talker on videos. Like, I do voiceovers. I did heads. I know as long as I have him, I will be okay. So however he leads me moving forward, I'm here. So if y'all upset, take it up with him. Because I am doing what he is saying, is telling me to do moving forward. And I'm really excited. I am really excited. Some of the plans I feel like he is pushing me towards, I think you guys will love it. And I'm really excited to bring you guys on my journey. I hope this helps somebody that is going through a similar situation like me. This was very, very unscripted. I just was like, God, just take over. But my husband gave me this idea to do this video. So I finally listened to him, because a lot of times I'd be like, he don't know what he's talking about. But I finally listened to him, and I'm glad God just took over. And I hope this truly, I feel like it's going to be somebody out there that this truly blesses and helps make their decision too. Because there's plenty of us going through this. There's plenty of us trying to figure out what the next step is in life. And I'm just here for it. you guys pray for me as I pray for you guys, and let's get this going. If you love this video, please hit subscribe, hit that like button, comment down below if you already been through this and you have encouraging words from me, because I'll take whatever I can get right now. And also, if you are thinking about this and you feel like God is putting this on your heart too, go ahead and comment down below. Thank you for watching this video.
Get out the way. Who got a watch? Who got the time? I'm raising the clock. Even in my feelings, grind don't stop. Got big dreams, want big rocks. I got